background screen. What is this song? Sometimes these are bangers and sometimes they're not. This one is good. How's ever? Oh my gosh! Hey, happy New Year, Willie. I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much, dude. Golly, freaking A, man. Appreciate you. I missed you guys. I hope you guys are doing well today. I hope you're doing swell. I haven't done a Wednesday podcast in a long time. Hold on, I need to take my Joe Biden drugs. It's my Go Juice. One more. What's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing freaking fantastic. Willie, I appreciate you, my guy. Missed you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. And all that good stuff. How is everyone's New Year's resolutions going? Is anyone doing them? I didn't make any. Except just to be a fantastic individual. I did get a new wig, though. So, new wig, new person, who dis? How is everyone doing? Let's get into some of the news, I suppose. What do I want to start with first? Oh, what's everyone's thoughts on Kevin McCarthy? And I'm genuinely curious what everyone's thoughts are. I'm not a fan of the guy for obvious reasons. He's establishment Republican, and I thought the Republicans want to go in a different direction, and it seems like, you know, people, including this man who's anti-establishment, wants to keep the status quo. He wants you to do the same thing, because in the end, Republicans seem to constantly do the same things. They never change. They'll give you this illusion of change, and then immediately do the same thing. Hey, we want new leadership. Here's Mitch McConnell. Here's Lindsey Graham. All right, that's my new question. Kevin, or literally anyone else who isn't a Democrat. Kevin McCarthy eats squirrel guts because he's a booger face. That's probably true. Brendan, what's up, man? How you doing? Wilson, what's up, man? I don't make resolutions. I fail enough without them. Exactly. If you don't, it's that corny joke that everyone says. If you don't make a resolution, you don't actually fail, or whatever. You don't have to complete them. You don't have to fail. Let's check in on our house. You know, I will say this about the vote that's going on right now. Isn't it nice to see our Congress actually working for once? They're actually together and having to have a debate and be like, I don't know, adults in the room. And I use that loosely, but have to actually show up to their job and make a vote instead of just, phoning it in like they do with every single bill, including some of our biggest expenditure bills, Ukraine, you name it. It's like, I don't actually have to go there. I'm too busy with my MSNBC meetings and whatnot. Kevin, but it's good to see them actually working. As what's his face, Chip Roy says in this clip right here, which I think perfectly sums up everything I've been thinking about today. Where did I put this? It's the first day back in a few weeks. You can't expect perfection with me, all right? But here's Chip Roy in the resurrection loophole.
This country needs a change. This country needs leadership that does not reflect this city, this town that is badly broken.
Don't you love all the ones that aren't clapping? They're like, hey, we're heroes. We're public servants. Ever heard of us?
The House of Representatives is the people's house. It represents the entirety of our country, and we each represent some 750,000 people. And we come here, and here we sit in a room filled with those representatives. And my friend, Mr. Gallagher, and he is my friend, and I agree with him on many things, and I agree with almost everything that you were talking about. But we should be in here having this kind of a conversation with this many people in the room about Ukraine. And we should debate the merits, and we should debate the ups and downs of being involved. We should debate the $45 billion. We should debate whether it should be more or less. We should debate whether it should be paid for. We should debate what the result we should demand.
Imagine if they actually did their job instead of just being our elected social media influencers, which is literally what they are in today's culture. It seems like our politicians. How many followers do you have? I expect you to do big things. And Papa, how dare you? First of all, jump right into the new year and start to really attack me in my physical appearance. I thought we were above that. Still got more claps than Kamal on Veterans Day. Please clap. Please clap. Oh, I'll never forget the day Mr. Bush himself. Please clap. Okay? Because we're a republic, not a democracy. Yeah, imagine if they actually believe that, man. Imagine that. Imagine if they actually believed we were a republic and not an oligarchy, which is most likely seems like more than ever. As we have collusion between our social media apps and our corporate entities have more power than most of these people combined and wish they could at all. Lauren Boebert has decided to make headlines with getting rid of the metal detectors because this is the people's house. Wait, watch this.
When I arrived in Congress...
Okay, wait. Okay, this video is so ridiculous. I just love it so much. Okay, not the content, all right? Let's just relax about the content. I'm talking about what is going on. Watch her when she walks in the film. Watch her when she walks in. She goes, well, everyone here, hello. Wait, watch.
When I arrived in Congress 2 years ago, Nancy Pelosi put this hunk of garbage outside of the House chambers for members of Congress to go through. Today, they are being removed, and we are...
The guy was like, hey, will you move? I'm trying to get this out for you. She's like, I'm doing my video right now? I have followers, okay? They want... I know you guys have all been asking me to make this video, and I'm gonna make this video. I need to show everyone what's going on.
Turning Pelosi's house back into the people's house.
It's good. When I arrived in Congress 2 years ago. Shout out to Lauren Boebert. I want to make Lauren Boebert my honorary cousin. Wait, kissing cousin? Move out of that way, lady. I know. She's like, hold on, I need to get my video down first. Okay, when I arrived 2 years ago, excuse me, I'm doing a video. Excuse me. Clap, please. She plays it cool and keeps going. I know. Papa wants to make Lauren Boebert his kissing cousin. That's gross, dude. We should debate. I know. I wish they would have, huge debates in Congress. How do you become part of Congress? I want to be part. Yeah, me too. First of all, you just, if you decide to run as a Republican, you have to be held accountable for things you say and, cognitive ability. So I would suggest if you want to run for political office is to run as a Democrat. You can literally do whatever you want and they will back you and the entire establishment will back you. And you can just say the most outrageous things and people are like, guy's so brave. And you can literally wear shorts and a t-shirt and magazines will tell the world that you are the most fashionable of 2022. You are a sex icon. People want to touch you based on no matter what you wear. You can dress as a 13-year-old boy in a middle school wearing shorts and a long sleeve sweatshirt on top with high socks to your knees. And people be like, that is the epitome of sexy. This is sexy. I wish more men would dress like this. Work, have a good Hey, got work. Elena Blower, what's up? Hope you're doing well. You would think that. Shout out from Kirinete. I don't know what that is. Where's Kirinete? Kirne? Chernobyl. Okay. That is my encouragement to you guys. Run as a Democrat. You can have a good time. You can say whatever you want. But then Lauren Boebert goes on to say this as well. What's going on in the House, the Speaker of the House vote that's going on. Let's check it right now, see if there's any updates. They're just walking around talking. I mean, there's literally, it's just so good to see, you know. Israel, the Sea of Galilee. Oh, sick. Cool. Just the Sea of Galilee, no big deal here. Cool. I'm jealous. But let's go back to, so Lauren Boebert comes out and says that I guess Trump is going around, and this is from her mouth, so I'm not, take it with a grain of salt. It could be 100% true, or it could be the most false thing you've ever heard in your life. But Lauren Boebert's going around saying that Trump is telling people to knock it off and vote for Kevin McCarthy. So here's Lauren's own words, which you would call her, in my idea, a MAGA Republican or a MAGA candidate. I mean, that's what the media at least calls her. So it's interesting. You're seeing this divide right now with a lot of MAGA Republican, Majority Taylor Greene has come out in favor of Kevin McCarthy. I'm trying to tell people, do not put your hope and faith in politicians. They will lie and do things you do not agree with constantly. It's just the weirdest thing. You saw with Obama, you saw with Trump, when people just you saw with Bush a little bit, you saw with Clinton. I mean, any leader, people are just looking for a moral authority today to worship. And so of course Trump has come out in favor of Kevin McCarthy. Of course Majority Taylor Greene is eventually, it's just, when politicians do good things, say good. When politicians do bad things, say bad. Don't just stay in your camp. It's not worth it in the end, because you'll be made to look like a fool. If you say Trump can do all good and not do anything bad, you will be made to look like a fool in the end. So do not put your faith and hope in politicians, but hold them accountable for the things that you voted them into office for. So here's Lauren. Sorry for that tangent.
Let's stop with the campaign smears and tactics to get people to turn against us. Even having my favorite president call us and tell us we need to knock this off. I think it actually needs to be reversed. The president needs to tell Kevin McCarthy that, sir, you do not have the votes and it's time to withdraw. And with that, I yield. Thank you.
Ooh, she just slapped Donald Trump in the mouth. Politicians and bureaucrats, but Majority Taylor Greene, damn, yeah. I know, I was equally surprised about Majority Taylor Greene. I was like, really? You? Of all people? I mean, you take the most crap out of most politicians I know of, whether deserved or not deserved. You would think that you would be able to hold the line on this one. Nah, no thanks. This is what happens, and I'm sure she got the call from Trump, and then Trump told her to endorse Kevin McCarthy, and she went, "Yes, Daddy." I don't understand how any other reasoning that happened. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense that somebody would just do that and go against everything they essentially stand for. The Republican Party wants to move on from the establishment, but the establishment is showing how much power they have, and they're showing them, hey, you think you can just come in with this new energy and put, a populist-like agenda, put Americans first, and actually solve problems that are going on in the world? Wrong. We need the old establishment politician, Kevin McCarthy, who is just another conservative speed bump to progressive ideologies being pushed constantly. And that's why you see, I've seen people like Maxine Waters tell other Republicans to vote Kevin McCarthy in because they want him in, because they know him. It's like, the enemy is safer in their eyes. She has my vote. Yeah, me too. Trump wants the money and support from McCarthy. Of course he does. Politicians follow money, not morals. Yeah. If that's not the biggest truth, I don't know what it is. I mean, and why not, you know? These people get elected into office and they make more money than they've ever made in their life. I mean, look at Joe Biden's raise to fame. He didn't just make that money making, starting a small business. He's just like, hey, my speaking fee is $500,000 and my ghostwriting book has made me $200 billion. It's no big deal here. I have 5 houses everywhere. I've never worked a job in my entire life, but hey, I'm rich. But where's my vote? Only Trump will be able to collect 218 votes. Yeah. Hello. What's up? Trump will fire them like Cheney otherwise. We'll see. We will see. I don't really know what's going to happen. My personal guess is that Republicans will cave and they will vote McCarthy in. But I hope, it's starting to not move in his direction. It's moving in Kevin McCarthy's direction less and less as time progresses, as you saw Byron Davis get put up and stuff like that, which I think would be awesome push. But I don't know. Like I said, when we had election time, I said I didn't have a lot of faith or hope in Republicans actually doing what they were voted in the House to actually do. And we're just going to continue to play Ring Around the Rosie over and over again until people finally wake up to this idea that most of these people don't care. And I don't know what's going to happen. I always think it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, because there's still people today that like will vote and have no idea who they're voting for. I don't get it. It makes no sense. Well, let's check to see if they're still talking on the House. No big deal there. I guess we could talk about, let's talk about some Biden clips, and then we'll go into some cultural stuff that I think is pretty funny. And then I have like a pretty good video on some other things. Okay. Joe Biden gets away with saying the most ridiculous things constantly. And again, I tell people all the time, you want to run for president, you want to run for Congress, you want to run for Senate, run as a Democrat, because you aren't held accountable for anything you do or say. Here's Joe Biden telling you why the recession got so bad 2 years ago.
Invented the semiconductor, the United States. Then we got back on our heels. No, think about it. Think about why the recession got so bad 2 years ago. Cars got so expensive.
Oh.
We didn't have semiconductors.
Okay.
Scores of them are in the engines of every automobile.
Oh.
We invented them. And then we went to sleep. We exported jobs. Now we're exporting product and creating jobs.
What? We invented them. And then we went to sleep.
That reminds me, I have my afternoon nap scheduled in an hour. I need to be there, okay? If I don't get my afternoon nap, Daddy gets a little cranky.
So the recession is because car prices, semiconductor prices. Oh, okay. Right. It's amazing how many insane people will be like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Why was there a shortage of semiconductors? Did it just happen overnight? Was there like some kind of thing that made everyone lock down and we gave everyone money that when they weren't working or anything like that? And then we continue to fund things that aren't really working. And then we continue to give money to countries that don't give a crap about us. And then we continue to, fund for stupid projects all around the world when we're in the midst of a horrible economic turn. No. It's those damn semiconductors. Took damn near 12 months to get the Ford Maverick I ordered, came in time for Christmas. Nice. So you're right. It was the semiconductors. Okay. I thought it was something else. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Joe Biden is the smartest man alive. Everyone knows that. And then I think this is like one of my favorite clips of the day too. This is from Air Force One. I don't even know what a Ford Maverick looks like. What is a Ford Maverick? Ford Maverick. I'm just saying. I know you are, man. What? Wait, what year Ford Maverick? 2000. How do I not know what a Ford Maverick is? Whoa, okay. Wilson over here pimping. Wood wheels shrimping. You gonna put some 22s on that thing, man? It would help if he didn't close the Keystone Pipeline. Oh, imagine that. They don't care about gas prices. I mean, we'll just deplete our entire reserve, and then in the end, we'll have to create more and then drive up the price. Just buy electric. What are you, poor? I mean, get over it, you freaking poor bastard. All right, Wilson with the definitely gonna lift it. It's it's tiny. It is a little tiny. It's a cute little truck. Beep beep. Is that electric? Pretty neat. Okay, but this clip. Somebody asked a reporter asked our press secretary, "Hey, can you tell me why the president was wearing a mask when he stepped off Marine One?" And this is my favorite answer that I've ever heard of a reason why someone's wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. And I don't even think she realizes what she said, but it's beautiful.
Can you tell us why the president was wearing a mask when he stepped off Marine One?
Oh, well, I don't know. I did not notice that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either. Why are we doing it? I don't know. 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 And that is COVID pandemic in a nutshell. I don't know. How to get started? I don't know. Why are we social distancing? I don't know. We go mask, social distancing. I don't know. Should we take this? I don't know. What's the protocol when you get sick? I don't know. We're not going to say anything. I don't know. And that's our leaders. Amen. No, it's a 2.0 turbo. Nice. Make sure to get a blow-off valve on that turbo so it sounds awesome when you're driving. You can go... You can sound like those Subi boys. What a great question, though. Yeah, it's a great question. You know, it'd be interesting to know why he was. I don't know. We don't know. It doesn't make sense. Speaking of not making sense, Joe Biden gave us... okay. Speaking of not making sense, but Joe Biden gave us some words of wisdom to live by. And I think everyone should live by these words. He's, as I've said over and over again, easily the smartest, bravest Biden I know. Here we go.
Traveled over 140 countries around the world. I'll paraphrase the phrase in my own neighborhood. The rest of the countries, the world's not a patch on our genes. If we do what we want to do, we need to do. It's never been a good bet. Traveled over 140 countries around the world. I'll paraphrase the phrase in my own neighborhood. The rest of the countries, the world's not a patch on our genes. If we do what we want to do, we need to do.
The rest of the countries in the world, not a patch in our genes. If we do what we want to do, we need to do. Amen. Amen. Just like you guys in my chat, you're not a patch of my genes. Okay? You're people. You're not just chatters. You're humans. You're not a patch of my genes. You're more of a whole. Because you fill me with so much love and affection, and I need that in my life. The world is not a patch, but again, who's doing drone strikes? Who's propping up, wars around the world? I don't know. Forget about Do the do. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The world is not our patch, but if we do what we do, if you do what we want to do, we need to do such words. I know. The dude he's a wordsmith. You know what I mean? So nice to see how Newsmax supports McCarthy. It is obvious from Matt Gaetz interviews Endgame is Trump or at least someone not in the House to get an extra vote. I don't understand the question. It is so nice though, isn't it? It's good to see people's true colors when the chips are on the line. But this is I mean, this is what you should expect though. The minute Republicans start to get a little frazzled, the media starts to make fun of them, pretend like, you know, your party isn't in line, or like that there's uprising in the party, or it's not unified like the Democrats, or any kind of negative press. Watch how Republicans crumble. They're so weak when it comes to this stuff. They're so incredibly weak when it comes to this stuff that they crumble at a second's notice. They're more concerned about a CNN article being written about what's going on here than actually getting to somebody who should be there. I mean, it's the unfortunate reality that a lot of people on the right do not want to accept, and that's unfortunate. The minute that people start to wake up more to that and actually start to see some of the lies and manipulation in order to stay in power, in order to remain status quo, hey, we do whatever we could do. Joe Biden is blocking us for doing this. The Democrats are doing this to us. Instead of actually taking the game to them and the culture war to them and their doorsteps. Did Biden get a lawyer fired when he was down in? Did Biden get a lawyer fired when he went down to Virgin Islands? I have no idea. That is news to me. If that's a rumor, okay, that's why I thought that was a rumor. I haven't really looked too much into that. I've seen. I don't know where you got that from, but that's interesting. What did I just do? Reopen, close tab. Okay. Let's just check to see what's going on in the House as they fight over what is happening.
Conundrum. Correspondent Rachel Scott, also R.J. O'Brien, both on Capitol Hill, and also political director Rick Klein is with us. In addition, ABC News political contributor and former Democratic senator from North Dakota, Heidi Heitkamp, and ABC News political contributor and former Republican congresswoman from Virginia, Barbara Comstock. I appreciate all of you helping me guide us through the day here with this ongoing vote, and yet another vote, and yet another vote, and probably yet another vote is what it looks like. So, Rachel Scott, bring us up to date on where we stand at this point, and what are you hearing from your sources, and how long do you think this can go?
Great question.
Well, look, for the people that are watching this all unfold right now and who are wondering why do they just keep moving to one vote after another.
Make sure to smash that like Kevin McCarthy is smashing Freedom Caucus. I'm just kidding.
Forward with any legislation. They can't move forward with swearing in members until they have a speaker.
I hate when people talk like that and talk like that up-talk voice. I'm doing all the best that I can. It's weird how he has the ability to do things just like he went to Ukraine when looking for something. Yeah. Is it weird? He said, don't F with the Bidens. I think he meant it. The AG of the Virgin Islands suing JP Morgan for hiding on Epstein's accounts. Biden flies to the Virgin Island vacation, and AG got fired a few days later. Oh, okay. So it could be a conspiracy, or it could be everything you thought. He fired Epstein's prosecutor, yet black woman, as you should remember, the president can fire a lawyer or prosecutor.
2 months, 133 ballots for there to be a Speaker of the House. I mean, I can tell you members here are certainly hoping that it does not go that far.
It's failing us.
At this point, they're up.
McCarthy's been like that for a long time.
But right now, no one has a...
It's like expecting Mitch McConnell to all of a sudden become this person who you dreamt him to become. You know what I mean? It'll never happen. He'll give you the illusion he's a fighter, but no. It's like if the Democrats want $100 billion spent on squirrel research, Mitch McConnell will come out and praise saying we only gave them $80 million. You know what I mean? That's just the kind of like stumbling block a lot of the Republican Party has become. Just, hey, we need to slow down the Democrats. That's their platform. When did they quit and vote on someone else like Jim Jordan? They voted on
really going to be in danger.
Somebody new today. They put forth today.
I'm reminded of
what's his
something
face?
that
Chip Roy.
John.
I don't know if you saw that. Chip Roy talking about it, and then it was a huge moment. You know, two black men were voted to be Speaker of the House.
Just for both sides to demonstrate the strength of, or in
you're gonna play the card. Play the card.
And
there he is.
To go through the motions.
Okay, let's get into some other stuff. I'm already like, I don't want to like talk about this House Speaker of the House for the entire time. It's just so boring. They need to keep it gridlocked in the House so they can not pass anything and not screw up the economy. How about they just start passing some stuff in our favor? I get so tired of just like stopping the Democrats. Is that what the Republicans have become? Just taking pause to the Democrats and their power schemes. Okay. You guys are going to choose what we watch next. McCarthy sucks worse than Virgin on Prom Night. Oh my god. Smash the like button like my ex-wife did on the third day bender in Vegas. Your poor ex-wife. All right. Let's get a new poll. I didn't know him. He's experienced his own job. Good luck with them helping the people out. Yeah. I don't see that happening either. They need let's see. Here we go. Let me get a new poll. You guys get to choose our next story. Okay. Okay. Or okay, you guys get to choose our next story. World Weekly News. Dude, I haven't looked at World Weekly News in a long time. I think we are trying to attack the left because anything we say about positive things gets backlash and canceled. Yeah, of course. But you got to keep going at it, because the more people that start to say those things instead of like cowering in fear, the better it becomes. The more light is shown in. You know what I mean? When you start to say things that are not popular culturally, the light seems dim. But the more you start to say it over and over again, the light starts to shine in and it disinfects. Joshua, what's up, man? That's what I think. What is everyone's thoughts? I'm gonna close it soon. Oh, Skip. Getting the L. All right, here we go. I'm going to close it. 3, 2, 1. Next story. Okay. I don't know if you... I agree with you, but unfortunately that mindset is for most Republicans. Yeah, that is unfortunate. And that's okay if you didn't agree with me too. I mean, that's what we're all about here. Disagreeing. I'm okay with people disagreeing with what I say. I'm not one of those channels who are like, oh my God, how dare you? You're stupid if you don't agree with me. I'm not one of those channels. I don't know if you guys saw the NFL game. I watched it the other night where T. Higgins caught a ball and went right into a defender. And then he essentially died. And then they had to revive him and do cardiac CPR on him. Hamlin, and people are losing their minds over this Skip Bayless tweet. because it's insensitive, it's insane. But as per usual, most people didn't actually look at the context. He tweeted around this a million times about how sad it was and how crazy it was and how different it was. Now everyone in the sports world has decided, I am going to hate this person no matter what because, well, he's a white male and we need to go after him because he's just disgusting. Skip Bayless says, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial for the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Which is like the biggest point, because the guy almost died on the field, and apparently he's heading to a better direction and things are looking up for him. So this shows me that he's like, which seems irrelevant, but it's definitely something to consider because it is a game towards the end of the season, and people are just like, oh my god, you're so sick, real talk, all you care about is football with Damar Hamilton's life's at risk coming from you, I expect nothing more. Wait, I agree with you, but just sad, shocking, didn't know what to think after that. Yeah, it was sad and shocking. I mean, I was watching the game, I'm a Bengals fan, so I was watching it and I was like, oh crap, what the F is wrong with you? A man is fighting for his life, football doesn't. But again, people just took this one tweet, and there was like tweets all around this for context, of course, because everyone takes everything out of context and then creates an entire narrative based on that one person's tweet and says, this is what this whole person is about. No doubt, you said this before this, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? This late in this, okay. I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, but I've never seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. But these players, this was different. Not exactly sure what happened, blah, 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 CPR. So he didn't just say, hey, I'm just concerned about the game right now. Nothing's more important than the young man's health. At this point, that was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry if that wasn't misunderstood, and that's what I picked up when I saw this part. But of course, everyone is just like so unhinged that the minute they see something that seems indecent or against their narrative or subpar, people have to lose their minds and go, oh my God, we have to get rid of these people. And I constantly saw people saying that. So on today, Shannon Sharpe has intense exchange with Skip Bayless over Damar Hamlin's tweet in Undisputed today. And here's the exchange between the two, which I think is just hilarious because yesterday Skip Bayless was kind of alone for a while and responding to this whole situation. Of course he has to respond to because why? I don't know. Because the world has decided when you are in the bad, you are in the wrong, we are going to crush you, get rid of you, smash you into pieces, and ruin your entire life because your life isn't worth it. And what you've done all the way up, this 1 2-second clip, this one tweet, the world has decided your whole body of work isn't worth it because this one time you said something against the grain or an obvious thought, which is an obvious thought. If the game is canceled, what do? Does it just go on? Do we pretend like it? Do we just end it right there and whoever has the highest points wins? Like, what is the protocol? And people are just like, how dare you? How dare you say that? It's like, okay, cancel culture is canceled, slippery slope, and no longer having freedom of speech. Exactly. And it's not like he was like, wow, what a piece of crap. Who cares about Hamlin? Just get the game moving on. That's all we care about. That would be freaking different. But of course it was like, hey, what are we going to do with this? Charles Hughes, the wide receiver in the National Football League in 22, and the only NFL to die in the field. Yeah, that's crazy. And then I got into a debate with a bunch of right-wingers about what was going on. And I don't know why this happens. Like, everyone was talking about like vaccine injuries immediately. I'm like, how do you know that is a vaccine injury? You don't know. This is why I hate confirmation bias so much. People are just like, okay, I've seen this story before, so obviously they has to do the same. I'm like, he didn't just fall on the field like that. It didn't happen out of nowhere. There was a hit. He got up and went back down. So I'm not saying it wasn't or it was. I'm just saying that people need to relax about this kind of stuff when something happens. and allow facts to just slowly open up instead of allowing your confirmation bias and constantly looking to cancel another individual. Can we all just be freaking adults? And again, if somebody just says something we disagree with, allow them to say something we disagree with. Well, what I saw from his tweet was he wanted the game to continue even when Hamlin was practically dead. Look, I don't get that from that tweet, man. Because he went from talking about not sure what happened, CPR administrator can't remember being stopped for this length of time, just said a prayer for him and his family. This is him saying a prayer for him and his family. And then he just went on, he started tweeting again about how serious this injury is. And then he goes on to the obvious question that people consider and think about, because he's in game analysis about like, well, what do we do with the game? And then he went on and talked about the young men's health. But here's the back and forth, which I just think is insane. Yes, it's indecent. And yes, you probably shouldn't say anything about this. But is it something that somebody needs to lose their job, lose their recognition, get rid of this human being? I don't think so. I think that's just a little over the top and a little too weak. He could go out and say, you know what? I probably shouldn't have tweeted that. But I was just thinking. And I use Twitter as an engine just to think and bounce stuff off people. And again, make sure he should have like connected these tweets is what should have happened, because then it would have looked better. But it did look like out of nowhere, people were like jumping on the blame. Blaming an injury immediately on the vaccine is equivalent to proposing infringing the Second Amendment rights immediately following a school shooting. Exactly. Not time to push. Exactly. Thank you, Wilson. God, I immediately, because I saw Charlie Kirk put out a tweet and said, he like immediately started talking about vaccine, athletes dying. And I wrote underneath, wait, are you seriously making this about a vaccine injury right now? And people were like losing their minds with me. Like, the guy didn't just walk around and just fall dead. Like, he got hit. There was an incident. But okay, let's get to this video. I think it was just the way he worded it. Yeah, maybe, yeah. It wasn't the best way to word it, for sure. But I also don't think it's that egregious of a tweet. If he was to say, no doubt the NFL should, instead of saying no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how, he should just say, if he was to say the NFL should just continue with the game. It's late in the season. A game in this magnitude is crucial for the regular season outcome. If he said that, that would be insane. Okay, let's look at it.
Morning. There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture, innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently, because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down, because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
God. I love that he's like talking about him, and then he starts to respond to things that he's saying about him, and he's like, will you let me get this out? like, no, you're talking about me. I'm going to respond. You can't just say crap about me and then me just keep my mouth shut and go, yes, say whatever you want. You can call me racist. You call me bigot. You call me whatever. And I'm just going to sit there and take it because you need to get off with your monologue you wrote 5 minutes before this show. It's important. So he wasn't at the show because of a tweet, because he didn't want to talk about the tweet. Then don't talk about the tweet. Act like it didn't happen. Act like the tweet wasn't even there. But no, you got to address it because you have to appease the mob. Because when the mob deems you as the most evil human being based on the face of the earth, your time is now to be over. And you cannot have your freedoms no more. LOL cringe. So the thing with the injury of Hamlin suffered from a condition of the play called Komodo cordis. Very, very happened to get hit in the chest area. So I'm friends with a cardiologist, and I literally asked that person, what did they think? And that's literally what they told me as well. So now, is that 100% true? I'm not totally sure, but this idea that it, because, confirmation bias is biatch, and people need to be aware of their own biases, or else, you're gonna just say insane things and just look silly in the end. You'll just look like a conspiracy theorist who's just trying to be a conspiracy theorist for the sake of conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? That was not a hit that happened that night. It was the hardest hit. Monologue took the players. I got 1 in 20 odds of something like this happen. I bet that's the best ratings Undisputed ever had. 100%. I didn't care about that show until this tweet happened. I literally do not care about Skip Bayless, and I especially do not care about Shannon Sharpe. This commentary is just so boring to listen to. I just can't get with it's the voice, the tone of the voice. I can't do it. Some people are saying the vaccine made his heart more susceptible to the injury. Yeah, but who is saying this? Podcasters? You know what I mean? Like, I don't... Maybe. But also, maybe not. And so because of that, you don't just say it. Because then it makes the people that actually experienced a vaccine injury look less. And takes away from their pain and suffering for whatever moment you deem is the moment to talk about. You're taking away from people's actual pain who actually suffered vaccine injuries. Those people should be lifted up instead of just assuming these other people, because they actually have documented truth that this is what happened. That's my biggest problem with that kind of crap. Maybe it was because maybe it had artery problems. I don't know. You also have no idea what's going on in the human being, the body before that game even started. You know what I mean? It's a high probability of what the cardiologist said to you is what happened. I just had dinner last night with someone in the field. Okay, see, exactly. Just some randoms, they said the same thing. Is it possible kids die from getting smoked in the chest by a fast-moving lacrosse ball? It happens. Wait, what? Freak accidents happen. People die in their sleep all the time, too. And just because that happens, doesn't mean it has to be part of your narrative. And that's why people need to be always on the lookout. What is my own bias that I'm bringing to this story? Because I don't want it just to be a confirmation bias, because that will lead me astray and make me look like an idiot, because it makes me look like I can't even look into my own mind and my own biases and the things that I feel like, well, I know that the left does this, or I know that this, they are trying to hide the truth about this. So therefore this event has to be A plus B. You know what I mean? This is what I think. You can call me crazy, you can call me a liar, you can call me wrong. I don't care what you call me, but that's just how I feel. They will never admit if it's vaccine related. Well, and that's probably true too. You know what I mean? But I just because they won't admit it doesn't make it true. I don't know what to say. I it's like a stalemate thing, you know? And why would they admit it? Why would they tell you? There's confidentiality involved when it comes to health problems in the world. You don't just have to tell people what's going on in your body or what medical services you're taking. I don't know. I also saw some fake Twitter accounts posting about how he just recently got his booster shot. That was a fake. And one person said, I was the doctor that administered the vaccine. And which is such a huge breach of HIPAA laws, which would be insane if that was true. What if it was vaccine related? How? And now the players in the NFL are put in more danger, and they will never tell them. That is true. That is true. But that is just like an idea or thought. That like it's hard to have like be for sure about answers when you don't have evidence. And that's the problem. That's the problem with this whole like censorship thing and a right to know thing and stuff like that when it comes to all this science-based stuff and not allowing people to actually have this conversation, not allowing people to actually engage in this content, not showing test results, not showing like the efficacy of certain drugs that are passed out because you have a right to know. That's the problem with this whole thing. And that's why people are skeptical. And that's why people immediately jump to conclusions. Because when you're not honest with people, people don't know what to believe. And so they just start to make up their own belief system because they don't, there's no truth out there anymore. And that's the problem. We're all just running around with like chickens with our heads cut off sometimes, you know? And because they don't tell us much. And so the things that we are told, we start to build our own world based on those things. Agree, we don't have enough evidence. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. I have no idea. But I think it's dangerous to just be like, okay, because they're hiding information and therefore this has to be true. I don't think that's a wise thing to do. Oh, we're back to talking.
We're not going to take any more of Washington being broken. We're going to do something for the American people, and we're going to fix it.
No need to get
in. Is it going to be painful?
Yeah.
And is it going to be difficult? Yeah, it probably is. That's why it took 100 years. It probably is. But we're going to do it. And we can also make history today by making the first...
Will the House be in order?
By electing the first Black Republican Speaker of the House. Yes, thank you. Now, as my colleagues probably know, the first Black members of Congress to serve in this body were Republicans. As a matter of fact, you probably also know that Frederick Douglass, who went and worked with Abraham Lincoln to emancipate the people of color in this country, said he would never be anything but a Republican, would never be anything but a Republican. I am here to nominate Byron Donalds because he has accomplished many things. He is a man of faith. He is a...
Do you guys want Byron Donalds to be elected?
He's come from the school of hard knocks because not all outcomes in life are equal.
Did you see all those races that did not clap for the first nominated Black speaker? Of course. Of course. They don't care about Black people. Democrats, they don't care about them all. They just want their votes. Like that's it. And if you don't align in their values, they'll get rid of you. They'll get rid of you. Your opinion isn't valid here. If you're not for us, you're against us. That's like that. That's the whole leftist agenda in a nutshell.
The right side. He is respected. He is trusted. He is capable, and he achieves results. Now, Byron has a big mind, and he's big in stature as well. He's very nice, but I will tell you this: in a negotiation,
he's like laughing
up there. In a negotiation
up
with Chuck Schumer, I should want to be on the other side of Byron Donalds. He knows who he is. He knows what his foundation is, and he knows that Washington is broken, and what Chuck Schumer sends over here isn't going to work out for the American people. Ladies and gentlemen, Washington is broken. Byron Donalds will inspire us and restore our citizens'
to show
faith
anyone
that
is better. They're changing the speaker again and again to show anyone is better McCarthy. Yes. And I think like picking him too, now you have an emotional plea. You don't just have like debating against like what they both believe. Now you can say the Republicans can vote for the first Black man in the house as a House of Speaker. And like that's such a good power move. And which is like an obvious thing to do and great. But like I think it just makes a huge twist in everything that's going on. I assume this is who the Swamp wants next. Oh, you think Byron Davis is part of the Swamp? The speaker isn't on any committees. That's why Jim Jordan doesn't want the job.
Adams. Jeffries.
All right, we have now moved into the 6th vote for House Speaker. How long will this go? Still nobody knows. Jay O'Brien on the Hill for us. We are now moving into the 6th round. So let's talk about what we know, just the latest at this hour. We have been told possibly this could be the last vote of the day if it turns out to be the same as the 5 votes prior.
I think it's going to be exactly the same. I don't know what you guys think.
At this tomorrow, what do you hear?
Nice little gridlock. 133 votes happened in 1856.
Yes, this is vote number 6. Kevin McCarthy has not come close to the threshold he needs on any of these ballots to refresh all of those at home who are playing the home game. You need 218 votes to become the Speaker of the House. Kevin McCarthy.
Do you guys see what Dan Crenshaw said about these people that voted against Kevin McCarthy? I know Nancy Mace is going around saying ridiculous things too. What do you say? I called them traitors or something like that. Oh, here it is. This from Dan Crenshaw's it's just insane.
This handful of members is very clearly looking for notoriety over principle. That's what it is. And anyone who suggests differently is in some kind of make-believe fantasy reality. It's not true. They lost those debates. That should have been the end of it, because that's how a team works, right? You hash this stuff out, you figure it out, and then you move on. But if you're a narcissist, and you believe that your opinion is so much more important than everyone else's, then you'll keep going.
That's really rich coming from you, bruh.
And you'll threaten to tear down the team for the benefit of the Democrats, just because of your own sense of self-importance. That's exactly what's happening here. We will not vote for anyone else but McCarthy. These people think they're stubborn, we're more stubborn. They think they're not going to get the committees they want. Well, obviously they won't, but it's going to be so much worse than that. They are enemies now. They have made it clear that they prefer a Democrat agenda than a Republican one.
That's right. If you don't vote for McCarthy, you are an enemy because you're a narcissist. If you stand for your values, you're a narcissist? I mean, imagine the insane leaps and jumps you have to take in order to believe that crap, man. It's just so ridiculous. He needs a parrot. Yeah, he does. You're a narcissist if you don't believe what I believe. All right? I'm going to start telling that to people. Hey, if you disagree with me, it's because you're a narcissist. All right? God. You're an enemy of the state. God. God. Jeez. This is why the Republicans are I just can't. The minute you show backbone, the minute you're against the establishment, that's when they call you a narcissist. The older I get, the more I pay attention to politics, the less I trust any of them, regardless of the party. Good. Then you're on the right tracks, train tracks of truth. You know what I mean? I rarely trust people I vote for. I'm just voting on them because I think they're the best option. And when they do things that you don't agree with, be sure to call that crap out. Don't just be one of those people that's like, well, if they have an R in front of their name, I'm just going to trust them no matter what I do. What will be the last straw that I leave the Republican Party? Join me, man. I am not part of the Republican Party, Libertarian Party, Democratic Party. I'm not part of any party. It's not worth it to be in a tribal camp anymore. I mean, it never was, but especially now than ever. Because, especially with some of these establishment people, because I don't trust any of them. And the only reason we've gotten to this point now, it's not because politics have changed. It's because we have social media now, and we have more news outlets now, and more videos being circulated everywhere now. So people are able to actually call some of these people out instead of just getting whatever crap news our 3 news channels gave us per day. People always say these insane things like, It's more divisive than ever. It's why does like the news seem crazier and stuff like that? It's like it's always been crazy. We just have more videos, and we have more outlets that allow people to like show some of these videos. Like myself, I started this outlet. I can show whatever videos I want instead of no one's telling me what to say. I'm not. What is it called? Something opposition. I'm just blanking on stuff. The state does not have the best interest in my life. No, and why would they? Of course, the state wants to remain in power. The state wants to have as much power as they possibly can. They're getting rich. They're playing in the stock market. They have insider trading. They have special deals with one another. They all hang out together. They pretend like they hate each other. Like they don't. These people, like they don't have your best interest. They have their best interest. These people vote on their own salary raises. They don't have to require us to vote on them getting a raise in salary. They vote on their own. These people would never do things like term limits. Why would they do that? When you could just be an oligarch of the land, you could just be a fat cat. You know, you don't have to have a job. You don't have to do anything. You just make your stupid interns do your work and tell them things like, "Hey, you keep working for me, I will help you get the places you never thought was possible." I stopped being part of the conservative movement last year, kid. I agree with a lot of conservative values. I agree with a lot of libertarian values. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be a conservative, because then the minute you say that, you put yourself in this box. And it's like whatever Charlie Kirk says, that means that's what I'm for. Like, and I'm an adult. I'm older than Charlie Kirk, so I'm not gonna let somebody tell me what I think. I'm also not gonna be like so close-minded that I can't be wrong in some of the things I believe and think. I know that those podcasts do better because they are more black and white and they just say the things that people are scared to say. But those people are also people I would never want to hang out with because they're not genuine or authentic at all. It's gotten worse since they started to try to push the Marxist agenda. Yes, 100%. Marxist commie agenda. I mean, you see it every day. It's very fascistic, and it's like fascism, socialism, like communism. It's all like it's a power bundle. They'll do it and say whatever they can in order to stay in power. No one puts the baby in the corner. No, don't put baby in the corner. You never know what'll happen. One person I do agree with is news mommy Brett Cooper. Yeah, news mommy. Why? Because she's a total babe. Is that what? I've been trying to figure out what. I haven't watched any of her videos besides her comment videos or something. I don't know.
Thing that was so striking to me is that she said Kevin McCarthy didn't even reach out to her. So maybe he sees some of them as a lost cause, but he can't completely dismiss that.
News mommy. Oh man, that's cracking me up. All right, let's. Yeah, she thought. Okay, I knew it. I freaking knew it. Sometimes, if only I had a set of them. Do you guys? Okay, let's take a break from stupid house speaker stuff. Do you guys know that reusable toilet paper is a thing? Which is totally disgusting. But I saw this video and I was like, okay, would you ever use reusable? I swear, my brain is not functioning today. I think it's because I never do Wednesday shows and I'm doing it today. Okay, here we go. Reusable
toilet paper shortage in 2020, we came out with our reusable version. And to the 56,000 comments in disapproval of it, it's meant to wipe water off, like drying off after a shower. The people who have made the switch have loved it. It's made of 100% GOTS certified organic cotton, making it way softer than this stuff. Sherman, please don't sue us. We couldn't be prouder of our net zero fam that uses this. After all, 27,000 trees are cut down daily just to make regular toilet paper. But we're also so proud of everyone else who's made meaningful changes in their lives like these ones. When someone places an order with us, we're able to plant a tree. And thanks to our community, we've planted over 134,000 trees in deforested areas and supported over 1,200 workdays in them. And counting. Reusable toilet paper isn't for everyone, and we're totally cool with that. But we want you to know that each sustainable swap that you make with us, big or small, will make a difference. Be the change. Our reusable toilet paper.
You know what? I don't think that's far enough. I'm going to start only using my hand. As Wilson says, yeah, it's called your left hand in Iraq. I'm part of the... yeah, it's called a shower and a bar of soap. Has anybody had the result to doing that? Where you didn't get enough toilet paper and you had to, you know, do the thing people don't want to do? I mean, there are so many different kinds. Have you ever heard of like an Alabama wipe? You take some toilet paper, you put some water on it, and it's just like a bidet. It's like a white trash French version of a bidet. It's beautiful and easy to the eyes. It's gorgeous and makes you smell wonderful. I'm just trying to imagine. So you wipe it and then you like toss it in a bin and then you like, oh God, and then you just like, oh, I want to freaking throw up. Oh my God. I'm just imagining taking your poop rags and then putting them in your washing machine. Oh God. I feel like I'm going to throw up. Oh my God. Oh. My dad was so poor he used newspaper today. That would be more befitting than ever. Yeah, it would. I think you're supposed to hand wash it in a sink right away. Oh God, that's worse. Oh my God. Like, oh God. I mean, can you imagine having like a really stinky one or a really wet one? I'm getting like nauseous. I'm just envisioning like nuts, you know, like corn on it. Corn on the cob, as they say. We're still voting. I wanted to take a break from the house stuff and just talk about poop. You know, because this is an adult channel, and this is highbrow thinking only. This isn't just your average mom and pop show. This is real life. God, I seriously feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm puke and rally, dude. Swallow your puke like a girl. If you store it in a bin, it will ripen like manure. Oh God, might as well just make manure out of it. You know, I feel like I know somebody who uses human feces for manure. I'm pretty sure I know some very homesteady people who are just like, hey, it's not bad. Like, God, not for me. I'll use cow poop. Maybe a typer service that comes around and picks it up. Yeah, maybe. I feel like that would be better. That would definitely make it better. I'm just imagining like a huge pile of crap in front of you. And what if you have like a particularly bad day? You're going to run out of toilet paper. You're going to have to resort to using the dirty stuff again. Nothing more like pugnant than ripe manure. Yeah, nothing more pugnant than ripe manure. Take your poop rag and wash them and bring them back pressed. Yeah. Take them to your Korean laundromat. I know how to say here for my my poop toilet paper.
Because they can say, look, you've got no other choice.
So you have to buy a complete new washer roll.
And what I think the American
you have to use a complete new washer. You have to have like a poop washer. Like I don't.
Finally is because there will be.
We got to stop
what
this.
What happens when you have to address the issue of the debt ceiling, the credit worthiness?
Okay. All right. I have some more stories. Okay. I saw this video as well. This video is insane. Hey, I'll buy it and put it in the rest of my doomsday crap. I'll probably never use it. Hey, okay. Reusable toilet paper for doomsday. That makes sense. I would never knock that. But just like an everyday idea. Imagine like you will have to deal with like guests coming over to your home and then them giving you that look like, wait, you want me to do what? Like, yeah, sorry. You're going to have to wipe it and then put it in the bin with the rest of our poop-filled rags. Okay, I saw this story of this scammer. Fakes being hit by a car. And apparently the performance is the performance of the year. If you're so pressed and tight on money, would you fake being hit by a car? I always had friends that made jokes about being hit by a car just to get money, but this guy does it and shows us how to do it. It's like a soccer player. Wait. He just comes out of nowhere. This is from Hong Kong. It's so beautiful. It's gotta be fake, right? I mean, it's just so silly. That's a top tier soccer skill, I know. Sign this man up for freaking English Premier League as soon as possible. I mean, his initial, like, when he, like, stops and he, like, leans into it is my favorite. He's like... I would be dying laughing in my truck, and then I would run him over. Freaking scammers, dude. So it doesn't just happen in America, it happens here too. And that's a beautiful thing.
In reports that Kevin McCarthy walked off the floor and said to him, let me
for
just read it to
Doomsday,
you
I will
verbatim.
use my old t-shirts. Yeah, but Willie, you spent all that time, you know, stretching out your t-shirt and washing it and wearing it to make it a beautiful old t-shirt that always fits so perfectly on your body every time you put it on. And you're just going to waste all that time for a toilet paper run? That scream got me. Yeah, me too. It's just too much. Renewable toilet paper would there be any money in for me? No, unfortunately. It's not fake. That's a real thing in many cities. Oh, yeah. Scamming? Oh, yeah.
Adjourn to any designated date.
Yeah.
But they have to pick a designated date and time under this situation in the House where there are no rules.
So a little bit about me. My stepfather is a lawyer, and he works for an insurance company, and he's usually the people that fake scammers sue. And so I grew up sometimes hearing stories about how fake people can be. I had to watch what I was thinking.
And more support from those 20 anti-McCarthy votes that we...
All right, I feel like I want to watch this video because I feel like this video could be important, but it's on my head. Hey, peace out, man. D Looney, it's not fake, it's a real thing in many cities. I feel like this video could be really good. But let's first watch. Peace out, man. Thanks for stopping by on a random Wednesday cast. It means a lot to me. I don't know if you've seen this video being passed around, but everyone is freaking out about this couple on a plane that decided that they want to find the right person to sit with them, which I think is a power move and good. Something I would consider doing. But here is... People, like, lost their minds because obviously they're white because they're racist. But here we go. Here we go.
I don't think Winnie liked that one right there. I don't know. It's up to you.
And of course, everyone has to lose their minds about a video like this. Oh my God, this couple was blocking the seats, probably not allowing a POC to sit in their seat, and they found this white male who they felt comfortable with and put him in the seat. So who do we go to for our cultural news that knows no better, that is stunning and brave more than our Holocaust denying Whoopi Goldberg. So Meghan and Harry get to fly over a world in a private jet without criticism, but I have to use reusable toilet paper.
Yeah. There's a travel hack
some couples use when they book plane tickets that is causing a debate online. Oh, yeah? Some travelers book a window and aisle seat, hoping that the seat in between is either empty or the person who's sitting there agrees to switch seats with one of them, rather than having the couple talk over them for the entire flight. But critics say it is wrong to pressure anyone into a swap over these damn seats. So just book the 2 seats together.
You mean over this damn topic, don't you?
Oh, yeah. God, so stupid. Imagine using lukewarm Taco Bell. Imagine eating lukewarm Taco Bell after 6 hours of drinking and having to use reusable toilet paper. Dude, I can't imagine. Let's check back in with our still counting votes. It looks like McCarthy's up to 105 and 12 others.
Basically a potential recall. So I understand why he's making these negotiations. I'm a little surprised that he gave that up.
I want to watch this. I know this is Young Turks, but I want to watch this video. I think this is like an interesting video. So I don't know if you follow this other YouTuber. His name is Vosh, and he's he's a far leftist, obviously, because he's on Young Turks. He gets invited on. I don't think he likes a lot of Young Turks stuff, but they're discussing why young men feel alienated in the United States. It's a fat person that wanted to sit next to me. Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I want you guys to put in the chat. Please put in the chat why you think young men in America feel alienated as we listen to these people, and hopefully we'll critique them and also, push back a little bit or agree. You never know. But here we go. Why do young men feel alienated in the United States?
There were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation. In fact, 18 to 24-year-olds are lacking friends, intimate partners. They're feeling increasingly alienated from society. And when you look at statistics in regard to their education, whether or not they're working, more and more of this data reinforces that there is something awry. And addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can.
Wilson thinks because they aren't allowed to be men anymore. And it's also one of those things that's true. And also, like, I feel like men don't know what being a man is anymore, because they're told what being a man is toxic masculinity. And I see this a lot in my profession. Some of you guys know. I help a lot of men that have no idea what to do with their anger anymore. So they suppress it and they become a passive-aggressive human beings. Because they have been told that anger is a no-no emotion. And so now they don't know what to do with their anger because they're afraid to be told they have toxic masculinity. They don't know how to act. They don't know what to do. They don't know what the rights and the wrongs. Morals has been taken from them. You no longer need to open a door for women because they can do it on their own damn self. You're no longer supposed to help a woman whose car is stuck because you don't want to assume they don't know how to fix their own car. Let's keep listening.
Can do to offer solutions.
Anna Casperin has been banned on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge because she is scaring away too many users. Young people don't know what anything is yet. Well, that's true too. Good call. Young men don't know much until, 25, 30.
And how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that, men.
Ooh. We definitely lost idols over the years, good men to look up to. Yeah, what idols do men look up to today? Brittany Griner? Like, I don't like.
Men are struggling with, people like Jordan Peterson and what have you. Now, recently, Vosh, who's a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes, "I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't." He continues to argue that leftists and progressives have absolutely no idea how unnecessarily repellent they come off to so many people, and they get angry at the idea of being a more effective social movement because they don't want to share their social spaces with people who might have gone another way. But the criticism for leftists continue. And to be honest, I agree with a lot of what Vosh says here. He says leftists will write master's theses on the effect of socioeconomic conditions on crime, and then shrug when 10 million more young men fall into fascism because their boy brains must just be innately fascist and they choose to be evil. And there's no way this could have been prevented.
God, fascism. Oh my God. It's just such, whatever. You know, the left calls anything the right does fascism, and all the right calls anything the left does communist. That's just how it is. We're in a generation of lost men. We've been marginalized and more invisible by a technological society that tells women that relationships with average guys is settling for less. Well, yeah. I mean... And you're like having a job, being an independent man, you know, being able to provide for yourself. These are not things that are seen as good anymore. Bruce Jenner and Leah Thomas. Are those your idols? Massa, Bruce Jenner and Leah Thomas. Gigolos donate to the Young Turks to keep anti-gas away from them.
And then the final tweet, because I want to make sure you guys get a full look at what he's thinking here. This is always a good topic to feel smug over, because the replies and quote tweets are saturated with people who literally think, quote, "we should care about men's problems and offer them advice," is a dog whistle for "we should build a Fourth Reich," thus proving the problem. Now, joining us today to talk about this is the man behind the Twitter thread, Vosh. And I want to thank you, Vosh, for taking some time to talk to us about this today.
Oh, it's an absolute delight. Don't mind the cam, by the way. Like young men, my camera encoder is alienated, just in this case from Skype. It's a pleasure to talk with you about this.
So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, because I've been just noticing it in the community around me, you know, just like the loneliness and how atomized.
No, that's not weird, Papa.
Men are. And I don't see it as, you know, addressing it isn't, in my opinion, a right-wing perspective or a right-wing task. I think that there are issues.
Is this the camera angle that I need to go for? Just talk like this? Yeah, exactly. Not even look at my guests, just look away from them. Okay, sorry.
That the left would do a far better job in addressing, as opposed to more nefarious right-wing figures like, let's say, Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson. So before we get to all of that, what the potential solutions could be, talk to me about what you see, what you think the problem is right now with young men feeling alienated in the United States.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to something leftists tend to be more comfortable talking about, which is toxic masculinity. You know, male loneliness is often an emergent property of toxic masculinity, which is, by the way, nobody likes this term, right? The right gets really upset when you say toxic masculinity because it sounds like you're upset with masculinity in general, and it's a really vague term. So let's just say, I think a lot of guys can be kind of antisocial because they're taught that sort of independence is a masculine.
He's watching YouTube while talking to her. You need to watch the videos that Soph did about all the bread tubers and how they advocate for child porn. Okay.
Virtue. They're taught that, you know, there's value in keeping your feelings bottled up. Now, obviously.
Whoa, wait. What did he just say?
And it's a really vague term. So let's just say, I think a lot of guys can be kind of antisocial because they're taught that sort of independence is a masculine virtue. They're taught that, you know, there's value in keeping your feelings bottled up. Now,
yes, but also the left does that too in a way where they're told to, hey, man that has this skin color, you're not allowed to engage in this conversation. You need to shut up and sit this one out. Men are constantly told to keep their mouth shut. And then when they actually express how they feel, it comes off as aggressive. And then all of a sudden they shut down and it becomes like this constant loophole. Transman is a good Samaritan, yeah.
Obviously, it's pretty harmful. It makes people feel kind of lonely. It makes them bad at reaching out to others, connecting, sharing their interests, building friendships. I think it's one of the reasons why guys tend to view dating as sort of adversarial, because they don't think of like a woman as like, oh, you know, well, maybe we'll just get along on some shared interests. Maybe we'll have something in common. They think of it as this like a mating battle, which, you know, I don't think it has to be. And as a product of that, a lot of guys feel like they have no social inroads and they're kind of drifting through life without connections to people. It really sucks. And the left could, you know, use that as an opportunity to maybe improve some people's lives, introduce them to some other ideas.
So just full disclosure, you know, when the statistics first started coming out and they focused primarily on the lack of intimate partners, to be fair and completely honest with the audience, I was definitely more dismissive. But then when you see the other statistic,
it's just so weird. What is the left's answer for men? They don't have one. Because they're constantly told things like, hey, like James Cameron said, I hate the testosterone-driven movies and all that crap, even though he made Terminator. That's what they're told. You know, this side of you who enjoys guns, enjoys blowing up things, enjoys loud music, enjoys tattoos, whatever, drinking with your buddies, BSing around the table, not having serious conversations, laughing and joking. These are negative things that we need to get rid of. And so their answer is, that's their answer. And you think that that's going to be a welcoming thing for most men? No. I mean, you see it in Hollywood now. The movies that do well, you know, John Wick. Why does that movie do so well with men? Compared to Avatar. I feel alienated because my values are not respected. I simply don't just fit in anything goes society. Yeah, same with me. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Your values are not respected. If you don't agree with everything the left poses as truth, you are seen as other than, and they want to get rid of you. That is their answer for men. Submit or else. And that doesn't work very well for most men, because a lot of us are pretty, well, we won't budge.
Including the lack of friends. Workforce participation for prime working age men between the ages of 25 and 55 has actually decreased significantly, and specifically in the United States. And so, you know, there have been some arguments that, oh, it's the advancement of technology, it's because of video games. Well, all of these technologies exist in other countries, and they're not experiencing the same decline in workforce participation. In fact, to give you a specific number from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 7 million prime working age men are not working and they're not looking for work. They're also self-medicating quite a bit. A huge portion of them have reported that they're taking painkillers daily.
We also made it a culture where people that have trades are seen as less than people that have podcasts. So we've created a culture of men that aren't working and using their hands to work anymore as well, because we see it as superior, even though most men would probably be happier doing work with their hands.
Deaths of despair are very prominent and pronounced among the male population versus the female population. These are huge issues. In fact, the Bureau of Labor Statistics also noted that when it comes to unemployment among working age men, we have a 1937 economy. Okay, and again, this is not happening in other rich developed countries, right? So there is a crisis happening, and I'm trying to figure out what is it exactly, right? The right wing will say, oh, it's feminism, it's because women don't want to stay at home and raise kids. They want to be independent. They don't want to enter, romantic partnerships, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy that for a second. I do agree that some of the rhetoric is a problem, statements about toxic masculinity, a lot of generalizing about people. I also think that there's a misconception that this is an issue that predominantly impacts white males, but that's actually not the case. The largest population that this impacts is actually Black men in America. And so this is a huge problem. And what do you think we need to say or frame, or how can we frame this issue so it's more palatable to the left, who, generally do want to ensure that every community is looked after, that everyone feels that, they're...
Yeah, nobody can look after a community like the government, these people, but I can't wait to hear this answer.
Living a happy, prosperous life.
Too much joy.
It's a tough sell. People feel these issues in their gut. When we talk about the kinds of things that drive people out to vote or even to throw revolutions, we're usually talking about very basic gut level problems that political analysis gets added to. For a long time in this country and many others, anti-immigration sentiment has been built on the anxiety of working class people who feel their jobs are threatened by immigrants. Often the data doesn't bear that out, but it's their fear that's used as a catalyst.
I love how he just dismisses that. Often data doesn't, bear that out. Often. Oh, therefore, this point I just gave is meaningless because often, well, studies have shown, experts say, God, keep going.
Push those politics. The anxiety, the loneliness of young men, this has historically been used as catalysts for, basically everything from the Bolsheviks in Russia to the brown shirts in Germany. It's just a large and often unaddressed demographic. This isn't a competition thing. We're not talking about giving up on feminist analysis or saying it's like, oh, well, actually men have it worse than women. Right? It's not about that. It's just, you want to reach out to people where they are. And to start that process, with a lot of young guys, I think it would help if lefties were willing to acknowledge this sort of natural conclusion of toxic masculinity as like a mode of social analysis, which is if men are socialized in certain ways and treated in certain ways socially, it necessarily follows they must have specific problems. And if those problems are the product of social systems that are out of their control, I don't know why we wouldn't apply the same basic sociological lens of analysis to that as we would with literally anything else. Patriarchy, racism, transphobia, no individual has control over these systems. And we try to interweave analysis with our compassion for and respect for the individual problems people have. We do this all the time with other issues. And to an extent, we do it with men. But I feel like we lean off that a little bit, maybe because men's rights as like a sort of a nominative thing, like how it's referred to usually refers to misogynist or incel communities online. So it's like, oh, well, men's rights, you actually mean like this or that. Well, leaving aside the baggage, right? You can call it.
Even that statement alone, like men's rights, people will just laugh at you and scoff at you, say, oh, what rights don't you have?
What you want, men's advocacy, whatever, just common decency, it's still worth pursuing.
Yeah, I think the phrasing men's rights activists, it does unfortunately make one recall some of the most unsavory individuals imaginable, right? Some who think that rape should be legalized. So I don't like thinking about that group when it comes to this.
What? I love it. God. Okay.
Particular issue, because I don't think this is about male entitlement. I don't think this is about men feeling or fighting for a system in which men get to feel entitled to certain things in society, including.
I'm about to turn this off because this whole segment, which I thought would be interesting, is about how do we make young men not feel so alienated? And their responses have been nothing because they don't have an answer.
Certain sexual acts, whatever it is. This is really about making sure that people don't feel lonely, feel that they have purpose in life. That's the other thing. An increasing number of young men feel like they have no purpose in life. And I think that it has to do with the fact that for the longest time, they were conditioned to believe that they are supposed to be the breadwinner in a family. And when they are lacking this educational attainment necessary to get the kind of career that makes the kind of money that makes them feel like the breadwinner, well, then it makes them feel like they're not really worth anything. I see a lot of...
Willie, what about all the men who are out there just working and doing just fine? Are they not there? These people aren't real. I know. It's always like an entire story of the minority.
That going on as well. When you look at the number of college educated men, that has declined significantly. And so some of the solutions that I've heard from people who do take this seriously on the left is that...
Why should men go to college?
Hey, there's a lack of male role models in, the public education system. There's a huge disparity between female and male educators in the public school system. Curious what you think about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is. I do think it's unfortunate that we consider education such like a feminized profession. Not because there's anything wrong with female teachers or whatever, but obviously people take a lot from their education.
Because it is a feminized profession. As someone who worked in education, I was one of 2 men in the entire school. So, yeah.
And any significant disparity in representation is going to reflect some kind of social.
A lot of this sounds like normal men anxiety. Well, that could be true. A lot of men do have anxiety, and people automatically assume anxiety means that you have a problem as opposed to just being a part of life.
Value. So, I mean, we can see the need for this reflected in the fact that two of the largest breakout conservative figures in the past 5 years, respectively, Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate, both became powerful in exactly the same way. That is to say, they postured as like self-help gurus for young men who felt like they'd been failed by society and left no options to better themselves otherwise. Now, the prescriptions those two offer are garbage. And
much like that statement, the prescription they offer are garbage. What prescription? What part of it's garbage? Do we have to say these things? This is just what we all believe.
And completely irredeemable. I think Jordan Peterson said you should clean your room. You can do that, but apart from that, don't.
Oh my God, they take one part about him. It's just so ridiculous. I hate when people do that crap. Clean your room. A simple thing. There is so much truth in cleaning your room. So many people I work with that are depressed. A first sign of them saying their depression is getting better or that they are doing better in their life is asking, does your room, does your living environment look ordered or is it messy? Is everything placed everywhere? Is the first sign. But I believe Vosh because, Vosh has a large Twitch following, so he's way smarter.
Don't listen.
Need to bring back drinking clubs again, Elks and Moose Lodge. Yeah, I would love that. A lot of men don't know where to go to meet other men and hang out. I mean, life happens and everyone deals with it differently, regardless of age and gender. There isn't a fix-all solution to these types of problems. No. LL Jordan Peterson has thousands of hours of content. Exactly. Well, that's what they do. They'll take one statement. If you say one wrong thing, like Skip Bayless, you say one thing that people deem is not okay, that's when everyone loses their minds.
But it shows what people are going for, right? And frankly, it doesn't take a lot of internet sleuthing to find out that a lot of people are feeling really listless these days. Mm-hmm. You have to give people identities and aspirations.
Happy New Year's, Queen.
I see a lot of this discussion with young women. One of the discourse bits that always comes up, it's how do you be a good feminist, but also like, what about this feminine wiles thing, right? Or like, how do I balance my progressive attitudes on gender with this, that, the other attitude I have on what it means to be a woman? It's an interesting topic. I have no skin in the game. Good luck, right? I don't know how often that gets resolved in left spaces with guys, because it is a good question. How do you resolve, progressivism with being a masculine guy? A lot of women you might want to date kind of do like manly guys, at least some of them, right? But what does it mean to be manly in a context that isn't, Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson? Just having the conversation might get a lot of folks invested, or they might understand that the left is interested in these issues beyond a sort of token, surface level political skim where they're trying to get people off the top. Compassion.
Yeah, compassion's the right word, I think. And, you got a lot of backlash for talking about this. And, you might tweet about it, but where I've heard.
Snore. God. The problem is that men feel like we aren't allowed to like some things and are only allowed to like other things. And the stuff that we actually do like is deemed as not okay and not safe. And that's the biggest thing, not safe. We have an entire society that is obsessed with safety and following the rules. And most men aren't built like that. Or at least the men that feel like they don't have a place in society, because we no longer cherish those men anymore. We no longer cherish the man who's wanting to run into the fiery building when everyone is scared to walk in. We care more about the man who's willing to tell his parents they're a part of the new flag of the day, that they stand for that more than anything in the world. It's hard to take a kid serious when he's sitting in a you judge people based on their chairs. It's just sad. Okay.
For a vote like that this afternoon.
Point well made. And thank you for bringing me up to date. I was very distracted by the adorable.
How's everyone doing?
By the way.
How are we doing today? Hope everyone's doing good. Man, you guys we just go. My chat gets rid of the guy's obviously short, peggy, real life person voice. It only sounds good with one mic. Guys like fart jokes and stupid shit like that. Yes, we do. I mean, I literally did a segment about reusable toilet paper because I thought it was funny. This guy sounds like a male feminist. Well, he's a leftist, so what do you know, he's the same people that think that like you shouldn't give, your 12-year-old boy a Nerf gun for Christmas because that sets a precedent in the home. I don't know what to.
A part of.
I don't know what to say. Doing well. Hey, I am doing well. Thank you for asking me. Yes, for a person that's supposedly a high rate streamer, your chair matters. Yeah, okay, that's true. Is my chair okay? I hope it matters. I hope it works out. But yeah, for him, that guy makes like tons of money. He should have a nice chair. But he's also a commie.
Pretty good that this could wrap up possibly in the evening into tomorrow, Kathleen.
Well, first, let me say that Hodge is a very difficult act to follow. I'm so happy for Jimmy and his wife.
All right, I'm gonna look on Twitter, see if there's any updates and updated videos about anything going on as they've taken breaks and stuff like that. I assume this is gonna not be resolved today. I don't know what you guys think is going to happen with the speaker stuff, but it doesn't seem like people are gonna to give in, which I appreciate. Let's see if there's anything new. Who do you guys want for speaker? Do you guys just want them to submit eventually?
Boehner will know it.
Wait, what? Okay. Dan Crenshaw is going around. God. Crenshaw just won't quit, will he? This is him on a Guy Benson show.
Get another scalp, and another scalp, whether it's Boehner or Paul Ryan or then McCarthy. Scalise would just be next, and we all know it. We just can't allow that to happen. That's why those of us are saying, like, look, you pushed us into this corner, so now we're saying we won't vote for anyone but McCarthy. That's why we're saying it, because we cannot let the terrorists win. That's basically what's happening. Get another scalp.
He just called them terrorists. What? Oh my God, I just can't stand these people sometimes. Dan Crenshaw just called them terrorists. Dan Crenshaw, yeah, exactly. Terrorists. What do we do with terrorists, Dan Crenshaw? What do we do with those types of people, huh? What do we do with them? It's important to remember to know the words you use very carefully to create a visualization in people's minds and hearts and their eyes. We don't want to be divisive. We're just spouting the truth. These people are terrorists. It's basically January 6th all over again. And the Speaker of House, they're basically trying to vote up that buffalo head wearing guy with paint on his face. They want him to be Speaker. I swear to God. These people are a nuisance. I'd rather have a Democrat than McCarthy. Well, JR, what's the difference? You know what I mean? It's like, people really think it's like a huge difference. It's not. Terrorists win. I know the game. Our government sucks. They really do. Crenshaw will be the first one to change his vote for Jeffries. You know he would be. I mean, all right, here we got some more clips coming down. Some of the debate. He played too much that childish game. Yeah, he did. The gridlock is the best thing for our country. They will not interfere with our lives. They cannot press any new laws. Well, there you go. There's that. I guess terrorists can be good guys. Yeah. I guess it depends. You know, who is the moral authority today deeming who is a terrorist and who is not.
My colleagues' actions. So today I am asking my friends and colleagues, are we the party of Reagan Republicans? Reagan, who said...
Yeah, right. I love how they like just name drop Reagan all the time, just so you're like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to think. Thanks. This is a Reagan policy. You're for it, okay, stupid people. Remember, we love Reagan. Terrorism is a subjective term. Isn't everything a subjective term nowadays? I mean, what's a woman?
Someone who is with me 80% of the time is a loyal and good friend, not a 20% traitor. Are we the party of Reagan?
I miss. Does anything matter who becomes House Speaker? It looks as if the status quo will just continue. By the way, the cheapest eggs in the market are $5 in SoCal. That's crazy. Whoops. It would only matter if they could get someone who was not around now. Exactly.
Are we the party of Reagan Republicans? Reagan, who said, someone who is with me 80% of the time is a loyal and good friend, not a 20% traitor. Are we the party of Reagan? That is the question that I ask you to answer as we embark on this next ballot. It's upon us to remain a nation of equal opportunity, not equal outcome. That is what is on the line here today, and that is why I am nominating Kevin McCarthy, and I humbly ask for your support. Madam Clerk, I yield back.
Gross. She talked about alcohol in the House floor and Groundhog Day. It would also be nice if they were sober, not like Nancy Pelosi. Exactly. Wait, what's this?
Diversity of thought is a good thing. It's one of the things that sets us apart from our friends on the other side of the aisle. Yes, diversity of thought is a good thing. But they want us divided. They want us to fight each other. That much has been made clear by the popcorn and blankets and alcohol that is coming over there. The House is not in order.
We don't drink alcohol. We smoke crack. Reagan was charismatic, but had the bad policies that were harmful for America's future, like government spending and massive amnesty. Yeah, this idea that everything Reagan did was perfection is just so silly. It's such a childish view of the world that I don't know. I've just called me crazy. If the left is okay with McCarthy, he is the wrong. If the left is okay, exactly. Then they want McCarthy. I'm leaving the Republican Party now. I wanted to fight from within, but Raha, pour another. Boo, boo. We don't drink alcohol.
The House is not in order.
It's 2023, new year, new me.
The
The clerk would ask all members-elect to abide by the established decorum of the House while making nominations.
It's like the funniest statement ever. The decorum of the House. As if these people are upright individuals who we should all raise our children to behave like. As quick as GOP voters hand over billions to Ukraine, it shows it's all theater. Well, exactly.
Gentlewoman is recognized.
As evidenced by my colleagues'
We need the party of George Washington and Rand Paul, not trashy. Yeah, come on.
actions.
If only we had a George Washington type individual, they would run for one term and you never see him again, and you would beg them to run again.
So today I am asking my friends and colleagues.
Here. Those are just the new updates. Let's go back to on the House floor, see if there's anything going on. Oh, they're still voting.
Sean Hannity, who enabled the Matt Gaetz and others who were yelling at him, last night. Stop putting him on air, too.
Of which the Honorable Hakeem
All right, here we go. Let's listen to the clerk where we get a final tally of the 6th vote.
Order.
The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 201. The Honorable Byron Donalds of the state of Florida has received 20. With one member as present. No member-elect
Oh, Queen, I hope that's a rabbit hole I'm ready to go down.
Having received the majority of the votes cast, a speaker has not been elected. For what purpose does the gentleman from Oklahoma rise?
I move that we adjourn until 8 o'clock this evening.
We're hungry. We want our pizza.
The question is on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Nay.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
Is a member demanding the A's and A's?
Is a member demanding the A's and A's?
Okay, motion is adopted.
The motion is adopted.
House stands adjourned until 8 p.m. tonight.
The House stands adjourned until 8 p.m. tonight.
There we go. All right.
This is like the most exciting I've ever seen the House in a long time. These people are actually working. It's amazing. Like, I wish they were forced to, vote on things and debate things. This is like, whoa, is this what democracy is? Is this what a republic is supposed to be? If Quakers ruled, they would get zero carbon real quick. Yeah, that's true. And TikTok would be banned. Why are they all rambunctious? They have all been drinking. No, this is what happens when they actually work. I think, I don't know. They're just having fun. These politicians are just children at the end of the day. They don't act in public. They don't know what real people are like. They need to have a battle royal and the last person standing gets to be the speaker spot. I want them to have like a hip hop battle. May the first first one that stops their rhyming. Stop. No matter what happens, the people will go home to luxury while we still find eggs. Exactly, Wilson. Exactly. Well, they have eggs. They're ordering special ordered eggs to their apartment as we speak. They need more wine and Coke. Yeah. I'm thinking about getting some right now after listening to that. It gives us more time for secret bribery and lobbying. Oh, you know it. Well, and gives enough time for Trump to keep calling to his other Republicans. If you don't vote for McCarthy, I swear to God, I'm going to lose my crap on True Social. It'll be over. I will go on a rant on True Social like never seen before. These people have no idea what's going to happen. Dance off. I'm still mad about those eggs. I'm mad about the eggs.
On another ballot.
I can't find eggs anywhere in my city.
Evening or tomorrow, Kira. So Kevin McCarthy and his allies on the clock right now to see if they can strike some kind of a deal before 8 o'clock that would put him in a position to become the next Speaker of the House, or at least show forward momentum, a deal that would pick up some votes but not necessarily get him all the way, and stop the momentum that anti-McCarthy faction has been picking up gradually, right? They've been picking up a vote here and a vote there. There was even one vote for president, as we said. That is Kevin McCarthy's task over these next few hours, Kira.
All right, Rick Klein, what do you think?
Yeah, I know. It'll be another rant like you've never seen. This one will be worse. Whoever can perform the ninja rap in its entirety will win. Problem solved. Go ninja, go ninja, go. No shortages here. Hey, jealous. Really like there's no eggs in the store. Any farm fresh eggs direct from the farm. I can't find any. I can't find any eggs anywhere. I've asked all my friends too. I'm eggless, bro, and I eat about 4 or 5 eggs every morning, and that's a problem for me. That is a problem for those of us in the weightlifting communities. That's a problem. Wait, what? Joe Biden has come out just recently and talked about Hamlin's injury in the NFL.
Do you think the NFL is getting too dangerous? No, look. The idea that
break out the checkbook, yeah.
You got.
Wait, what? Wait. I love that he has no idea.
The NFL is getting too dangerous.
Well,
look. The idea that you're going to have. You got.
It's like a brain malfunction. It's like,
come on, man.
He's wasted. Yeah, I know. He is freaking gone. He just goes on to talk about how big they are. He's like, you got people that are 6'8", 340 pounds running 4.8 40s. What? Wait. What?
Guys that are 6'8", 340 pounds, running 4.8 40. I mean, you know.
These people are running 4.8 40s. Anybody? I see why people voted for him now. It makes sense. This guy is a freaking 6'8", 340, running 4.8 40s. Dude, that is blazing. I don't think that's ever been done before. What's a 4.8 40? Running a 4.8 seconds in 40 yards. There's no way that is possible. A 340-pound individual. When people barely crack the 40 time at 4. You're telling me you don't watch football without telling me you don't watch football, exactly. Joe Biden didn't watch football. He played football. Remember, he played in the NFL. He played in the NFL when he was raised by his Puerto Rican family. Everyone knows that. And that was right after that, he became a truck driver. He graduated in the top of his class. And was valedictorian. Biden reminds me of an old Chinese bad guy from the Big Trouble in Little China movie. Oh, that is niche. I like that. It's like a Colt 45, 40 ounce. Exactly. Because that would be faster than the Olympic sprinter. No, there are a lot of people that run like 4s, but they're like wide receivers. You know, they're defensive backs. They're not 340 pounds and 6'8". They didn't think. Joe Rogan for speaker. Yes. Yes, freaking Joe Rogan for speaker. I'm here for that. I want Joey Diaz for speaker. That's who I want. If we're in that Joe Rogan camp, I want Joey Diaz. I just want some guy lining up a huge joint and just talking trash to all these psychotic people.
Try and get that plurality vote that
Who
we
is this
talked about
woman?
earlier, which would allow him to only have to have 213 votes. That would be, as we called it, more of a nuclear option, but at least it would also settle things. But I think now that they're having a meeting.
6'8", 340-pound NFL player on a 48-40 for speaker. yeah, exactly. And with the first pick in the NFL draft, 6'8", 340-pound NFL player. Paul Pelosi, come on down. I think that was Paul Pelosi's attacker. That was his stats. I did the 100-meter at 13.2 seconds when I was 17. Nice. Very nice. I ran 400 hurdles when I was in high school. Anyone but a self-proclaimed socialist? Yeah, I wish. Put it out a couple of inches so I can understand you, lady. Put it out a couple of inches.
Like Matt Gaetz or the other knuckleheads to be leaking it out. So press who are there. We'll be happy to know. They'll be texting. So how does Kevin change enough of them so he has less than 5 who are going to defect, or will the others count present? Or will he use that, try and get that plurality vote that we had talked about earlier, which would allow him to only have to have 213 votes. That would be, as we called it, more of a nuclear option, but at least it would also settle things. But I think now that they're having a meeting, you're going to see, will the other Republicans feel comfortable enough to go with that kind of nuclear option of plurality instead, if they cannot convince, enough members to get to that threshold. Otherwise, then I think you will need to, as Ken Buck has now said, and some others privately, need to move to a second, to a plan B, as members have been saying. What is the plan B? So I think now that you're meeting, this is the time, this is why Kevin didn't want to have a meeting this morning, because when they all get together, this is when things start to disintegrate a bit. Maybe they come together, kind of get a plan.
Don't you love this is like a professional news agency and they don't have a microphone? It's just like some lady in her office talking into a camera.
But they can also go
Look how empty the chamber is. They're all hard at work. Yeah, well, they're taking a lunch break. Taking a smoke break.
Pretty quickly when you have these meetings, and you can count on someone like Matt Gaetz or the other knuckleheads to be leaking it out. So press.
Oh. How dare she say that word? Knucklehead? That has a history of racism. God, freaking knucklehead. All these knuckleheads.
I definitely know that one on that list is the single member motion to vacate. And I know for a lot of people back home, they're like, what is this thing that they keep talking about? But this was a...
JR says, I'll be upset if McCarthy gets it at this point. I think he will. I don't see it. I don't see it changing. I don't. But I hope I'm wrong. You know what I mean? That's like one of those things. Like, I hope I'm wrong, because that will be the biggest white pill for me of the day. If McCarthy doesn't get speaker, that is a step in the right direction. People are saying Steve Scalise is going to be speaker. He's a bigger whiner than McCarthy. God. McCarthy will get it. He will just have to cave to all on the demands. Yeah. We'll see. You know, it's like if he caves to the demands, he could just like change his mind. Well, I changed my mind. Do they have a second choice announced? Yeah, this is it right here. This man right here. Must be smooth transition from school to politics. Still get recess and frequent gossip. Mean Girl's dream job. Exactly.
A mainstay rule in our chamber that empowered all the members of Congress, regardless of party, and Nancy Pelosi's the one that stripped it. And so we think it is important for our institution to function correctly on behalf of the American people, that it get put back in place. And so I think that's one. And then, you know, there's other stuff that we can figure out around the table, which we'll probably do later today.
Congressman, are you actually running for speaker, or is this more about just continuing the conversation and finding a place where Kevin McCarthy can be the next speaker?
Well, they nominated me, didn't they? I'm just playing. Look, I think right now it's something where I told my colleagues, like, I didn't come to D.C. being interested in becoming Speaker of the House. But I also understand that, you know, part of my responsibility is to make sure that our conference gets to a point where we are doing the things in an effective and constructive.
I like the guy. He has a level-headed, from what I've seen. That joke right there sold me. You know what I mean? Oh, you're a normal human being that can just make BS jokes? That's refreshing.
That we campaign on back home. And so I'm going to help do that any way I can.
Congressman, Nancy Pelosi called this a very sad time for the country. How would you describe this moment right now?
Oh, gosh, Nancy's full of drama. I think that's totally wrong. I've been saying to a lot of people, the time of just leadership by acclamation, those days are over. And I think that's a good thing for the republic. Our voters, whenever we've campaigned as somebody who was an activist back home, our voters are tired of the same old thing.
This is how the government runs best, when they are doing nothing. It's that, and also this is how the government runs best when they're actually forced to vote. They're forced to debate. They're forced to move slowly because they're debating things and people's point of view rather than just like, you know, phoning it home.
Thing where it's like, oh, well, how'd that person get into leadership? And that's not an anti-Kevin statement. That's an indictment of Washington. So the fact that the former speaker is now saying that, oh, this is too much drama and it's a sad day for America, not true at all. This is actually an invigorating day for America, because what it demonstrates is that you do have people up here on Capitol Hill who, one, can get together and have tough conversations and negotiate things out. Two, can do things for the betterment of their constituents back home.
Did McCarthy drop out?
There's just too many y'all right now. Huh?
Did McCarthy drop out?
That's a question for Kevin. I'm not going to answer that question.
There's no members of Congress right now sworn in, or no members of the House, rather, sworn in.
Right.
So, like, if there was a national security crisis or something, I mean, this is sort of uncharted waters here for the country. Are you have any concerns about just the fact that the House is not functioning as it should, doesn't have any members sworn in?
Well, hold on. We all know that if a national security crisis arises, the President of the United States is right down the street, and I would anticipate the President would act to secure the homeland and take care of the American people. When it comes to leveraging money to be spent in response, that's something that the members would have to put into their calculus as well. But that doesn't mean that we should speed up our business here for some hyperbole that may exist at some point. The president has dollars that have been appropriated, and he has some constitutional authorities to protect the homeland and do what needs to be done.
But at this point, there is no functioning Congress. So how long can this possibly drag on for? What is the path forward?
I actually don't think it's gonna drag on much longer. I think this is something that's gonna be resolved. But again, listen, the wind is blowing, y'all. People are still driving in their cars. People went to work this morning. They dropped their kids off. My kids went to school this morning. The American people are living their lives like they've always done. But what we're doing in the building behind me is we're going to make sure that this place operates as efficiently as possible and as optimally as possible to address the needs and concerns of the American people. And, once we get this organized and figured out, we'll get back to business as
Do you
usual.
want to be Speaker? Do you actually want to be? Is this a protest vote?
Like, actually, no, not really. Never came here to try to be Speaker of the House.
What is the outreach?
Well, then.
And just like that, that's the reason why I want him to be speaker. I don't want people that want like this idea that you dreaming of a day to be in this type of power. I don't want that type of person. I want a person that's like, if someone nominates them because they think they're a good, they have good character, people trust them, they like their values, and then they're put into a position of leadership and they're like humbled by it, because they don't really want to be there, but they're encouraged to go there because of who they are, rather than somebody who's been dreaming of this day to be in this kind of power. I don't want that. You should run for president someday. Yeah, exactly. I like that. That's the attitude we need.
They nominated me. Of course I voted for myself. That's pretty cool.
Who do you view as an acceptable alternative?
Hold on. Say, you back it up there. Sorry.
We need more real people in D.C., yes.
In the speaker's race?
Well, that's been consistent. I think, President Trump has been in that position for several months. Knowing President Trump, he done change his mind. And so, I think that's all well and good. But the members are going to decide this process. And that's in no disrespect at all to President Trump. That's just the reality of the House of Representatives.
Has Trump reached out to you?
No, I'm not talking to him yet.
Who do you view as an acceptable
about your vote?
We actually talked earlier today, and I anticipate we're going to talk again later today. Again, guys, look, I'm a business guy, so, having negotiations is par for the course. And I think too often in D.C., everything's filled with drama and feelings, and we got to get out of that posture and just get back to a posture of just having real conversations and getting jobs done.
Though, Congressman, the perception from our side, we're not on the inside of these negotiations, is that there isn't progress being made.
Yeah, you guys are at 20.
What kind of progress is there being made? Because it's like Groundhog Day, the same vote over and over. So what progress is being made?
Well, I mean, time out, man. Even Groundhog Day in the movie, that lasted about, 9-10 days? This is only days.
Oh, snap. Boom.
Too, man, y'all settle down. We're gonna be all right. Look, there's gonna be progress made. There's already been some discussions. I was having conversations on the floor right now with key members.
Look, man,
and I think we're gonna continue.
Time out.
That the rest of today and see where we land.
Speaker of the House.
What are you negotiating to?
Well, like I said earlier, the motion to vacate at 1 is one of the key ones. I think that just has to happen. And again, my viewpoint is that if Nancy Pelosi stripped the rule, that's actually a bad thing for America. So putting it back should be no big deal.
Is that enough to get to yes?
Are you a yes if he does that?
So hold on.
If not you, who do you want as speaker at this point?
Well, what I want as a Speaker of the House is going to actually be able to use every tool in this building to accomplish the will of the American people and have trust and definite belief that we're going to get that work done. Because, look, I leave my kids for too many days. I leave my wife for too many days to come up here and just walk back and forth from the Longworth building. Not interested in that anymore, so we're going to get active.
Are you worried that this feeds into the Democratic narrative that Republicans are unserious about governing?
Nah. Democrat narratives? Come on. How many of those have we seen in the last couple of years, and they never seem to pan out? I think that, look, they're going to try to do their job to message, but the truth is, this is day 2. Not day 100, not day 200. Everybody's going to be just fine. That's all politics. But if you've actually followed Democrat narratives, they always seem to be wrong.
But how does motion to vacate and some of these changes help government function? Because it seems like in the past that hasn't really helped Congress pass bills it needs to and given the majority power.
Well, I think that's the first part of it. It's about empowering members to do the job that they were elected to do, not continuing to put more power into the hands of the speakership. And I think that our conference, working together, all Republicans have gotten to a place where we've begun to open that up and get it to where it's much more member-driven and member-friendly. I think what we're probably about to do in the next couple of hours is finish that work and elect a speaker and move on.
Just a clarification. Motion to vacate. When they elected Republican
Hold on, the lady behind you. I have to answer 2 of y'all questions. Give me a minute.
I just wanted a clarification.
This guy's been like so refreshing to listen to.
The rules package, it sets the number at 5 members.
Yeah.
You want it reduced to 1?
Yeah.
And is that enough?
To the original
yes. Is that enough?
I think that'll work for some members, but again, you got to go in and negotiate that. So I don't want to negotiate between you guys.
Are there any other rule changes
before they nominated you today?
Say again?
Did McCarthy's critics ask you before you were nominated today? Did Chip Roy speak to you or give you a heads up?
Yeah, the members who were voting no.
This interview is refreshingly hilarious. I know. It's like, wow, you seem like a guy I would get a beer with. Okay, you have my vote.
They did approach me. It's something I had to, really think through and process. Did that, talked with my wife and, agreed to it, and here we are.
Are you worried about retribution after the fact? There was threats that folks that weren't going to vote for McCarthy would be kicked off committees. Now you...
And Dan Crenshaw called you a terrorist?
Put yourself in a pretty public position opposing the person that could be the speaker. Are you worried about retribution?
Man, I'm 6'2", 275. I'm not worried about that.
I wonder if he runs a 4'8".
Guys, look, I am not a political guy per se, even though, I'm a politician now. The way I view these things is that we'll work through it and figure it out. But the real pressure, the real, danger, that's not happening in here. I mean, retribution, come on, man. I'm a city kid from New York. this is nothing.
Was there any proactive outreach from McCarthy and his allies before you changed your vote, before you became the pick this morning?
Nah, not really.
Do you think there should have been?
That's not a question for me. That's a question for them.
McCarthy has already made some pretty significant concessions. So what needs to change about his approach? I mean, what does it say that he keeps failing over and over again? What needs to change?
Well, look, I think this is something we're going to try to hammer out in a...
I'll tell you what needs to change. The person. Because people don't trust him. I don't know.
Room today. And, my hope is that, the leadership that so many of our members believe in is going to come through today. And if that's what happens, then we're going to go ahead and elect a speaker and we'll move on.
Are you meeting with McCarthy today? What do you mean?
Yeah, I anticipate we're going to meet later today.
I have a geeky question.
Besides the motion to vacate, is there any other rules that you consider, a rule change that you consider that?
Nah, I told you guys I'm not going to negotiate through the press. Come on now.
Thank you.
That's a time.
Oh, man. And there it is, folks. There it is. Sounds like a Paul won't answer the question. No, he won't answer that question. Because let's be clear. I don't think there is like things that they're looking for him to concede on or change his mind on or think differently on. It's the person. And and until that person changes, then nothing, that is the negotiation. Is the person going to change? No. Okay, we're done. It's not like he doesn't need to concede on anything. That is it. But it's refreshing to see, people actually be interviewed for things that we're voting on. There are so many things that get voted on in the House that we have no idea. We're not even sure these people have read the bills, which they haven't because they're old. And the bills are like 5,000 pages. Because no one has time for that crap. The job of Speaker of the House is really about blocking the other party. I mean, it's just, yeah. Wasn't he the speaker a few years ago that blocked the funding for the wall? I'm not sure. I'm not not saying I was perfect. I don't really know too much about Byron Davis. He's not in my district, so I don't really imagine trying to keep up with every single House candidate or politician. Oh, God. Some people, I feel like I have some sort of a life. Republican from California is a moderate Democrat. He's from Florida. Who are you talking about? I'm pretty sure Byron's from Florida. All right, guys. I've enjoyed this show. I've had a lot of fun with you guys. It's been a good show to get the gears going again. Tomorrow night we'll be back even crazier than ever, better than ever. Hopefully it'll be a good show. I'm just glad to be back rolling things. This day was the day to get the kinks out, to get going again. You know what I mean? Talk about McCarthy in 2016. Oh, okay, yes, McCarthy he did vote against that. Okay, sorry. I was confused. That was one of the big gripes against him. And that was like one of the weird things that when Trump endorsed him, it was like, you endorsed a guy that doesn't even like you, but now likes you? Like, it's just, that's how grimy politicians can be. There are some things that they don't want reformed. I watched a video that came out today, Free the People YouTube channel. Oh, I'll check that out. Nice to see you live again. Hope your vacation was nice. It was nice. I appreciate you saying that. It was nice. It was good to catch up. But I'm back in the saddle again. I'm back. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Enjoy your night. Thank you guys for being back here with me. It always means so much to me. Next show will be even better. Hopefully we'll get some crazier videos. It was a struggle looking for stuff to talk about today. I'm going to be honest. People aren't all the way back from vacation, so the news media hasn't decided to, be as insane as they normally are. Our normal insane people weren't there. So that was the biggest thing. Glad you're back, Derek. Hope everyone, Happy New Year. Hey, you too. I'm sure it'll be entertaining. Yes, I will try. Aloha. Trump tried a rope and a dope since they had such an effect on the midterms. Yeah. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. You guys are the best people on earth. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys mean so much to me. If you don't mind smashing that like button, share this video. That helps my show out. Showing your support for me means so much to me. I hope you have a World Weekly News next news show. I will find something funny on World Weekly News for tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow. I love every single one of you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night. As always, I'll catch you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea show. As long as I can get this music to work, you know, it's like, what? Liked? Oh, thank you. I love YouTube free music. It's the worst. Okay, have a good one, guys. All right, love you guys. Bye.